What's up, guys? Welcome. Happy Saturday. What's up? What's up? How's your week? How are you? Welcome to another live stream. Let's take a look at a new month, right? So happy month as well. Happy month of March. I hope you guys managed to had a great February month. Some of you did. Some of you, maybe it was just another learning process. Surav, welcome, man. Sorry for the delay, man. Honestly, I lost track of the time. Yeah, I will start being more on time as well. Yeah, so it's another week. It's been an interesting week. On one aspect, if you are just looking at the major pairs and looking in particular at euro dollar, dollar index, pound dollar, and so on, it was almost another ranging week, which may have not been the easiest pairs to trade, which has been quite becoming a thing already this year, with a lot of ranging, with a lot of small fake outs and reverse, and it looks like it's creating momentum to one side, and then it doesn't, and it just keeps going and going and going like that, which makes it a bit hard to predict and maybe even to trade as well. Pedro, welcome, man. The guy that yesterday managed to take out the pips possible from dollar CAD. What's up? Yeah, but we actually had a conversation, like in regards to the main pairs, in particular maybe pound or euro, which has been a bit hard to predict them, or to kind of to it's been a bit hard to trade them, and to forecast, to have a bias in here, which again can be tricky, especially for someone that is only trading one or two assets, particularly maybe euro or the pound. It has been yeah, maybe it has been a bit of a challenge at the beginning of the year, when maybe there are other minor pairs that are providing better opportunities, even related to the pound, for example. Even for example, pound Aussie been okay, pound yen, Audi yen pairs, maybe except actually dollar yen, been quite good. For example, this week, something that we followed, we're looking for based on the dollar, based on the yen index. So yeah, so that's something to, again, always at the conversation, how many assets should I focus on? Maybe one or two, or have a broader portfolio. Yeah, it's up to each trader. I do prefer to have a little bit more of a broad portfolio, and to look for where actually the higher probability trades are, instead of just getting stuck with one or two assets that may not be even performing the best in here. Just as kind of as Mike Bellafiore says, the founder of or one of the founders of S&P Capital, you're only as good as the assets that you are trading. Like, you cannot really force anything if the opportunities are not there. Right, enough with this. In terms of the market, it was another week where the main focus was the PCE, and the market kind of celebrated quite positively to it. We saw the indices moving to the upside, and meanwhile already breaking new highs. It was as expected, so there was not really anything different from what was expected. But since the CPI actually was slightly higher than expected for the last 2 months, maybe it was a way to kind of celebrate that. Okay, the core PCE, which is actually the inflation report that the Federal Power likes to look at, that one is still in alignment with the predictions that they are doing. So maybe, yeah, maybe hopefully there's not going to be any more delays, which at this point is expected to be in June, the first rate cut. But hopefully there's not going to be any more delays. And at this point, which the odds are just 52%, right? Comparing with where we were at the beginning of the year, where even the market was already pricing in March Then it was not, then they changed their mind, then it was a little bit in May, they changed their mind again, and now they're looking for June, for the summer, which has been always more of the prediction from the Fed. With maybe, I don't know, 3-4 rate cuts, around 75 basis points cut until the end of the year. We'll see if that's going to happen or not. There are plenty of Fed members that share their opinion, and that's kind of in alignment with what the Fed has been saying as well. Next week, if not mistaken, I think we have ECB, which is going to be interesting. Yep, we do have ECB press conference, so we are going to hopefully have some momentum, and in the euro may run away from the range that it is at this moment. And then okay, we're going to have also these testimonies from Fed Chair Powell. Usually there are 2 days. Yep, going to be Wednesday and Thursday. So okay, it's going to be a busy week with the labor market, Canada interest rate decision as well, and then yep, Eurozone, Fed Chair Powell speaking. That those conversations are always interesting. The type of questions that they ask, they are quite funny, to be honest. And then yes, and then NFP on Friday. So hopefully we are going to move away from this range on the dollar. Again, bigger picture is maybe still bullish. I can see still this rectangle in here, and I see this high maybe as an engulf to the upside, but that's a bigger picture and a little bit of a lower time frame. I would actually like to see the dollar actually moving more towards this level, since basically this will open basically the door to go a bit more to the downside, and not the biggest fan of actually where this will reacted from. Now the problem is that if you actually check another server, and the weekend here is much bigger, right? The weekend here looks like it maybe has already reacted from the demand zone, which makes it a bit tricky. Now, since I've been always using the other data, the other server, I'm going to continue to use that one. But yeah, it's a big difference. Basically, in this case, the target has been reached already. On the other one, it hasn't. And yeah, something that we, especially people that like to trade with PA, what we hate the most is to see different type of information on the data in here. Kind of in one side breaks a low, the other one it doesn't, or there's a big wick in here, the other one doesn't. Yeah, I don't really like that. But I'm going to stick with whatever I have in here, and I'll still like to see eventually dollar to even go there as well. So this was another level that we talked about that maybe potentially could have some reaction on the dollar in here. Again, I'm not sure exactly. You guys maybe could share your opinion. I don't know where the dollar exactly is going to go through. In terms of PA during the week, we did manage to fake out or to break these highs in here, opening a bit of the spice, since this high never really reacted straight away from there. So maybe looking for longs in here could have been an option during the PC. But yeah, in here could have maybe just create momentum and go higher. It didn't. It just got rejected straight away and is back at this level. So yeah, kind of if we look at the weekly candle, it's basically the last 2 weeks had been almost non-existent in here, as you can see. Just this candle and this candle without price really moving that much. So we are bullish, yeah. I would actually like to see maybe dollar going. Again, bigger picture. It reacted from here. I don't really think this high reached the final destination. I think maybe it wants to go slightly higher. So yeah, I would definitely like to see maybe dollar going slightly lower before maybe resuming the move to the downside in here. Yeah, so I would like at least until here before maybe price moves higher. If we do break below this low, then I may become a bit more bearish. In my opinion, everything in here is a bit compressed, even with this gap in here, and price can eventually go below this level. So if that happens, I would like maybe to see that that move more to the downside, which then we are looking for price maybe to get closer to this level in here. Okay, at least feeling this range in here. That will be something that that I would like to see if you do break below this level. How is price going to move then there? Then we'll see. I can retrace first, and then can, yeah, there's maybe different ways that price could do it. Yeah, so we'll see on the dollar. Yeah, not really much to talk about it, to be honest. In here, so yeah, dollar hasn't really been my favorite. Kind of the pairs related to dollar hasn't really been the ones that I've been spending much time looking for trades. This one, S&P, like in the indices, that actually played out exactly as we wanted. I don't know if it was on the stream last Saturday that I mentioned that this was the target. And if you look, that I would like to see S&P as a target to retest this level in here, and then yeah, and then could continue to move to the upside, since this is basically still a bullish momentum in here, with price creating higher highs and higher lows, and just keeps going. And this was a natural level to look for, with also this fresh supply demand zone, right? So we mentioned that level, we have these lows, they never really reacted from the demand zone, and that one, it was definitely still in alignment with that previous high. So yeah, it just played out exactly like that. Right, so that's exactly what we were looking for, and it was a nice move in here. Kind of created this small range. We did mention about this pattern in here, and the difference between maybe what was going on in here on the S&P and the NASDAQ, and that was kind of an interesting one, because again, as I mentioned, I would maybe prefer to see this one being broken and then fake out, and then kind of the reaction from here and to go short. That's usually a bit more of how I like to see the pattern playing out, instead of this was still respecting in here as just a typical reversal pattern. But we did create kind of this structure here. It was there, and yeah, this ended up working as an engulf down, and price just naturally reached the target. Another clue that we could have had, right? This was actually a question that one of the members asked me during this week, because we did a deep analysis about this situation on Monday. And yeah, sometimes again, if you don't really have the pattern, okay, basically I'm looking more for something like this, right? Maybe price creates maybe double top, can create something here, and eventually I would like to see this being broken before that fake out, right? If you don't really have this one in here happening in this moment, and yeah, if you do kind of have the opposite, okay, it respects it and now goes higher, and now kind of goes like this, and now it actually breaks it. But before we have this one, and only after we have that one, we can also pay attention, first of all, to correlation. Like we could have seen, or look at the NASDAQ, we could have looked at the Dow and so on. It looked like it was about to show some bearishness. And then we can also pay attention to actually the way this move happens, and maybe this one happens as well, right? This one looks like it was a strong, kind of a good fake out in here. I can engulf first, but kind of a fake out in the moment with good momentum to the upside. It was not just a small high that was taken. No, it was actually good momentum upwards, and then a full rejection straight away. Like, and it even created all this structure here that started to hold price to the downside. So yeah, in this particular case, you could have continued to maybe be a bit more bearish, especially again, as I mentioned, we had a target that we were looking for on the test of that previous high, all-time high in there. So we have a target as well that it looks like a reasonable level to look for. Yeah, 1 second. Wait, we have started to look more. Okay, now it's better. Wait, we have started looking more at engulf, and then your higher high. Yeah, I love it, man. I call it kind of the engulf fake out sequence, where I want to see first the engulf, and the engulf basically is telling me the direction that price wants to go. But before actually then turns, it actually is going to create the fake out, right? That's why prefer much more to see the DN go first to the downside in case we're looking for shorts, right? Eventually. Yeah, if I don't really see it kind of in this situation, then I'll be still concerned that I think this ident is going to still be challenged. It's going to still be creating a new high eventually, right? Maybe just going to continue to move over and then can go higher, and yeah, maybe what do you think that initially maybe this level all of a sudden becomes a bigger one from a bigger rectangle that maybe is going to be created, who knows. But yeah, it is happening so many times recently, even now on Ethereum, Bitcoin, it happened as well on the way down, like in this situation just before the reversal. You can see price starting to break below the lows, then you have the fake out, and then you go like in alignment also with this high. It was there screaming to be faked out. It happened the same thing. Price reacted then from this left shoulder, and then basically there are two levels that you are looking for trades when you have this when I identify this pattern. Actually there are three levels that I usually try to look for price to react from. Let me go back to S&P. There's S&P in here, this one. Yeah, so the three levels then that I'm looking for when trading this type of a movement. And another question is, where do we want to see this pattern occurring? Like, we don't really want to be trading this pattern in the middle of nowhere, even though sometimes it happened. It works. Actually, even the highs on the euro dollar, also the highs from last week on euro dollar, also it had this shape. But when we want to actually look for it is if price is already getting really close maybe to the level that you want to look for the reversal, like maybe a fresh supply in here or previous levels of support resistance, a really important level that you want to see a price creating this range just underneath it, create this gap in here, let price starting to show a lot of bearishness, like a double top in here or whatever, let it then start showing some break the lows, and then you can have this move, like which is basically what happened on the euro yen as well at the highs. It was reacting from a zone just underneath it initially, where this double top was created, but then there was still maybe that high that needed to be taken, and there you go. I was taken, and kind of this follow. This happened afterwards in there, right? So again, that's a good question as well. Is where do you want to see this pattern to happen or to occur? And then yeah, the three levels that usually I like to look for again is literally the head, like whatever supply the extreme in here is going to be created. Okay, so that will be number one. Then it's going to be in alignment with with this left shoulder or kind of the base in here, right? It's going to be one of these other two levels in here. But something that we need to be aware of is when should we actually look then for the short at this bottom in here, right? And let's just create that scenario. This was actually a question that one of the guys asked me during the trade reviews this week, because he got killed on trying to short in here because price actually then went up in here and then it dropped, or actually maybe even tested this level in here and then it dropped in here. I think it was the pound or the euro yen or the euro dollar during the news. Yeah, so one of the situations where I would like to see when I'll be looking to trade from this level, it will be more of a situation when if the highs, so basically the extreme in here or this level, they already need to be taken. Okay, so basically on the way down, okay, while price is moving to the downside, I would like to see already price kind of reacting from here and kind of collecting the orders from here, or even spiking in here, which now creates a key M zone once again, and then price reacting from here and then moving lower. And now, yes, since these levels had already been touched, now maybe price is fine, and I want to see also price maybe breaking a new low in here, which now maybe price is ready to just go from here and drop. If these levels are still fresh, if nothing of this happen in here and these levels are fresh, there's maybe a high probability that price may want to still have a deeper retracement towards zero, even there, whatever, one of the levels before using this level as just a trend continuation in here. So that's something to be aware of. Now, there's going to be maybe those one or two situations where actually price just is in such a momentum that's going to just retest this level, it goes, and it never really comes back to this level in here, right? So yeah, that may happen again, but usually the tendency is to at least have a deep retracement towards one of these two levels. Again, you're going to look at Euro Yen. It's a beautiful example. All the three levels were respected this week. In there, even again, maybe even Ethereum, just the way we looked at it. Where is Ethereum again? In here, there you go. Ethereum respected the first level in there, and then it finally managed to break properly these walls in here, and then respected the one underneath, and it was ready to go. Right, this is actually a great way to scale in the positions if you want to. Okay, so this is the first one, which in this case the head and the left shoulder is actually in alignment. Okay, they are both at the same level in here, and then we do have the break, and usually we want to actually see some kind of manipulation as well. So at the bottom, whenever price, if you are looking for the trade at lows, you want to see even kind of maybe a double top in here, and then kind of a small fake out, and then price is ready to go in here. That actually tends to happen as well. Price doesn't really just does this and go. There's maybe a little bit of this goes down, but then kind of just creates something in there and goes with it afterwards. Again, that's just what tends to happen in here. But yeah, Ethereum is a great example of exactly what I mentioned in here, which can be used as a scaling situation. Like if by any chance you are short on the first one, and if the price is actually working in your favor and breaking the lows, then we can look for another entry in there. My favorites, of course, it will be more of the extreme. Sometimes, sorry, I do struggle to look for this level, especially if I'm still worried that price may have the fake out in there. But yeah, so that's something that happened on the S&P this week, on the NASDAQ, and so on. All right. Yeah, but that's a good one. Yeah, it can be used as a reference, just as a reversal pattern. And yeah, good reaction. Meanwhile, just skyrocketing to the moon. This was maybe a good short, but then price is just going. Like again, we are back at scare one, like at the beginning, where if you're looking now for any kind of reversals at all-time highs, we just keep and repeat the same story that we've been talking about. We want to see some kind of range first before even aiming for any kind of short. This low, I don't see it as an engulf down, not even by a chance. This was literally just a retest of this level and respected perfectly the demand zone in there. So yeah, just it's still another bullish move. There is no break to the downside at this point on the S&P. At least I don't see it. So at this point, as you can see, so this was the move that happened, and this is what we need to be aware of. Right, so when you broke above this level, we noticed that this level in here was fresh, right? So exactly the line in alignment with the break of this high, it was fresh, and then it was respected in here. Look at this one, right? So the break of this high, it's been already respected in here. Okay, this makes this level already weaker. So whenever price then retraces to this level, maybe reacts from a little bit of the zone above it, but don't really expect any more reaction from this level, because this already reacted on the way up. Okay, so there is already kind of a break, retest, and move to the upside. So that level is weaker. Don't really expect any kind of longs from this level. Maybe look for the, I don't know, from the demand zone or whatever it may be, or then eventually price can go all the way in here. This is a good clue also to pay attention to, because it starts making this level weaker. Okay. While in this level, the zone was still fresh, so no surprise that price actually could react from it and just did what it did in there. Okay, so again, it's a perfect reaction basically to the pip of this high in here. It's exactly where it reacted in there, which again in the moment can be a great trend continuation setup if that's what you want to look for. But yeah, at least this line exactly to the pip that price usually tends to respect, that's gone, it's over. Now if you want, it's maybe a little bit above it. Okay, maybe it's going to be from here or starting to look for the next one in here. Okay, everything else looks like actually is being compressed, to be honest, almost. So yeah, so that will be a little bit more of the next level. Does it make sense? Folks, change the music. Yeah, so who knows? Let it create a bit more range, and then on Monday you may create another high before moving over. NASDAQ. Where were we in NASDAQ? Yeah, so this was NASDAQ this week, yeah. So yeah, NASDAQ, it was we had that thing goof down, right? So that was the difference, because we did manage to have that thing goof down, and then price made the fake out, not just even of this high, but actually the high on the left, and then we broke straight away back into this level. And yep, there you go. That's a good example. Actually, of what I wanted to describe. There you go. Right, so even if you just look like this, we have the move in kind of somewhere in alignment in here, right? So some people may actually look for that continuation straight away from here, but as I mentioned, if these maybe levels in here are still fresh, whatever, we may have that deeper retracement before actually then the move goes or kind of price just respects the zone underneath. NASDAQ, in reality, I can see it as an engulf down, which it's interesting. In here, this level, it may have been slightly broken to the downside, which can, again, it's going to be an interesting one eventually when price does turn into here. Again, this zone may still be fresh. Again, this one here may have not reacted from it, but this one may be seen as an engulf down. Maybe reacted from this one. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, this one's going to be, yeah, just something to keep an eye on. Again, the bigger engulf down didn't really happen, which should have been kind of below this level. We mentioned that part as well. There was no proper engulf down, so eventually, again, the continuation to the upside, no surprise with it. And now maybe this is a level, a range that I'm going to definitely pay attention to in here. Okay, so we'll see what NASDAQ is going to be. If it's going to retrace a little bit, and how it's going to react around this level, which in reality you need to take into consideration these ones as well, because this is the one that breaks this level, therefore it's the important one as well. Yeah, and there's a little bit of a gap in here, at least on this time frame. Yeah, so again, let it rally until it starts having a little bit of a range, and maybe can potentially look for something. Interesting enough is these guys, right? A Dow hasn't really moved that much, okay? And I think we are in agreement, Faden. We do like that level at the extreme, like, and personally I do like it. It's going to be an interesting one to look for. Yeah, it's just interesting that the Dow hasn't really followed what the S&P and NASDAQ did these last 2 days. It moved higher, but nowhere near close the same momentum as the other two, which, yeah, I'm just going to be interesting to see. Not the biggest fan of this low. Don't really know if that's reacted from anything relevant. I'll prefer to continue to see it moving a bit lower. I don't like the compression, and I'm going to be curious to see how price may react at the extreme. That may be an interesting sell to look for. Maybe at least above this high into something in there. I think that's going to be interesting. Yeah, why not? Yeah, I think that's going to be an interesting one. Again, we've mentioned, right, because even in relation to the Dow, we already have a little bit of this break of a low. Like, while S&P and NASDAQ, I haven't really seen any proper break of a low in a bigger structure. But Dow, I do look at it, at least at this low in here, as one of those scenarios. And now imagine the situation where we actually could have, not really sure if that's going to happen, but maybe this could be the bigger structure, where we have maybe the engulf down in here, and now we may have kind of the bigger fake out in here, and all of this in here eventually is going to be just for price to move down, and eventually we have exactly the same pattern, but in a bigger scale of may happen in here, right? Again, and this can be one of the triggers. It's kind of one of the first break to the downside in here, okay? And this one eventually becomes the head, and then maybe around this level we may have some shorts in there as well, and then we'll see what's going to happen. But first maybe need to break a bit more to the downside. Again, we'll see what's going to happen, just something that I have in mind. And yeah, I'll be monitoring as well what to expect from the Dow in here. And then DAX have been entertained looking for shorts this week in here, which it started mostly on Thursday. So I've been monitoring this level. Again, it kind of broke a little bit above it. It didn't really manage to break below the structure. We have a little bit of a beginning of a break to the downside in here. But then price kind of just carry on moving upwards. There was no break in there. Still not in here. This was actually a short that I took on Thursday. From there all the way, actually didn't end up actually with a loss. Didn't really manage even to take profits when this move happened to downside. I wanted to, I was looking for price to go slightly lower, and the reaction was too quick. And then this one I missed yesterday. So the pattern that I mentioned that I wanted to see maybe more on Thursday, it actually happened yesterday for the reversal. And yeah, I did miss the entry, unfortunately. And target was hit. It was this level in here that I wanted. Apparently, the potential target was actually a good reaction. So that's a little bit of a turn on the DAX again. Still bullish. Okay, don't really look for the major turn from here. Maybe there's a little bit of a range that starts to be created until we may break. So yeah, this is not valid anymore. It's done. At this point, price reached the target, so that's over. Yeah, so we'll see what's going to happen in here, and what kind of structure we're going to start to create in here on the DAX. Yeah, I will continue to monitor. I do like to see kind of some walls being broken. That's something that starts to catch my attention for potential reversals. So yeah, but again, it's all-time high, so careful with anything we do there in here. One situation with this DAX, at least for me, in the war time frame, and actually can compare with the S&P yesterday, which we also were looking for a short in the morning. I don't really know where to put an order in here, to be honest. Yeah, maybe the supply. I kind of looked. I think I was looking at the tick charts to look for a little bit of better structure in here. So this is basically the last one that moved higher, and in here, I think I had my order in here. Basically, that's kind of where I missed it in there. Okay, this supply maybe it ends up breaking this level, but I like to see the structure that is created after the break of the first one, and there is kind of a little bit of a gap in there. We do have this left shoulder. Price could go there. Yeah, but to be honest, I was not really sure where to look for the entry in there. On the S&P yesterday, for example, there was a short opportunity, and it was a bit more clear. On the 5 minutes, where are we? Just go away. Yeah, it was a bit more like this at least. Like we do have literally kind of this up and down, kind of that level in there, that it was a bit more clear to actually look for the trades. Also in alignment with this one. So yeah, on the Dow, personally, in that move down, I was not really sure where to look for the entry. In here, yeah, we do have this move and then the drop. That was a better level to, yeah, DAX, as you can see, didn't really move like that, unfortunately. It just dropped. At least I don't see it. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, moving on. It's going to be an interesting one to keep following. Then Euro Index. Is it still within the range, or has it moved already? Yeah, so within the range as well. Like, and you can see how messy this pair is at this point. Like, so we predicted how that move. Like, it's something that we talked about it already a few weeks ago, and price now is just literally challenging these highs. I would like to see it going higher, and after that maybe could have a retracement, but at least if we do break above the high, it may give indication that we may want to go higher, but we could have again a retracement to the downside. We haven't really had a proper deep retracement to make a move like this, but what we also don't have at this point, and we have been in this kind of compression all the way through, what we haven't had yet is a momentum as well to the upside, like something like this that literally creates or separates all this range that we have in here between maybe the next phase that's going to start after that. Like, so yeah, after we do break this level, we may have momentum created instead of just another fake out and moving lower in here. Who knows? To be honest, I'm actually open for both scenarios. If we do have that big momentum occurring in here, then we may start a zone, kind of a new compression, kind of a new zone 3 type of a move, as price may start compressing a little bit in here, goes, and eventually it's going to get closer and closer and closer to whatever level or next level we have in there. Okay, but yeah, so looking for that momentum and then for something like this to start happening until we get closer to these highs in here. Yeah, so that's something to look for. Again, we are going to have ECB this week, so hopefully we are going to move away from this level, because this is what it looks like, the weekly candle. Again, super small, not really managing to break that high in there. Yeah. What do you guys make of the euro dollar? I mean, dollar index, euro dollar, like what's the bias? What do you guys expect? And this one, right? All right. Yen index. Like, yen index has been in our radar, as you know. Like, so we have seen the compression. We talked about the dollar, that maybe the dollar yen would have a big role to play before any big turn to be expected on the yen index. Again, I was looking a bit more for the dollar yen to still go higher, maybe close to 151, if not mistaken. I need to look at the chart to know exactly the level. But to take these highs where it has been respecting for the last couple of weeks, and after that maybe to make the move. Apparently, yen index just moved straight away. It reached one of the first targets. It was retesting of this previous low in alignment with this supply level. So it got there quite quickly. Initially ranged a little bit in here for a while, and it got there quite quickly, and now actually I'm going to be curious to see how price may react. Again, it's already reacting from this demand zone, starting to break slightly new high in here, and there is a little bit of this gap in here that price can still go and react from if it wants to below this lows, or can even create new lows from here, to be honest. I'm not sure if I look at this as an engulf upwards, just because price respected perfectly the previous structure. So we may still go and challenge this low and may even fake out the low one more time before have a proper move to the upside. Okay, on the 4-hour time frame, it doesn't really look like an engulf upwards. It looks maybe just as almost as a continuation in here of price kind of respecting this previous level. And yeah, who knows, it's going to respect in here and maybe could move down. We are within this range now. At least we broadened the range a little bit where this yen index is trading. This move, of course, provided good shorts on the euro yen, pound yen. Aussie yen has been the biggest one due to the weakness on the Aussie yen. As we mentioned for the last few months, we were looking for that fake out. Again, we're going to cover it in a bit as well. But yeah, I'm going to be curious. That's going to be, if not mistaken, some commentary from the from the governor on Tuesday. Again, a few CPI data has been coming out in Japan. I think higher than expected. So yeah, it's going to continue to create some pressure. But yeah, our eyes or ears going to be focused on maybe what he's going to say, which is going to create some volatility for sure on the yen pairs in here. I'm still looking for the dollar yen maybe to pick out the highs, and then if it goes down after that, then this one can just move away from here and eventually start getting into this bigger range in here, which is going to be quite interesting. But I'm still okay if price does want to create one last low, kind of break the lows one more time, and yeah, it's going to be another one that again I'll continue to monitor this week in here. Moving along to the individual currency pairs. Do you guys look for the yen pairs as well? All right, so the euro dollar. What can I say about this? What can I say? This was the pattern that I mentioned. Kind of it happened as well in here a little bit. Kind of price starting to show some weakness. Then you have the count. Then you have that one. Yeah, so euro kind of worked in there as well. Yeah, UJ right may hold the highs again. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, euro dollar. It respected nicely from this level. It respected from this supply. I would like kind of the same way that I would maybe like to see dollar index moving lower. I think I would like to see euro dollar moving higher. And when we do take this high, I think we may get into this compression level and we may challenge these highs in the future. Now, there's maybe some reaction to expect either from here or maybe from there. Okay, from these two levels in here, maybe if after taking this level, or otherwise we may just literally go all the way through and we start challenging these highs and looking for price to maybe get to into the next level in there. Okay, so that could happen. We didn't really manage to break below this low, so that's kind of still holding, but we managed to break some walls on the way in here as well, and that's why it becomes so tricky in here. But yeah, I'm not really going to be involved on the euro in here at this point. I'm going to wait just for price to move away from this level, and after it does it, yeah, after it does it, then I can maybe start looking for something. If by any chance price just completely reverse again and respects this level, starts breaking these lows, then yeah, let it maybe fill all of it in here and challenge these lows, and we can see what's next from here. Since price actually respected this level, then we can actually just resume the move down, since we actually managed to break these lows as well in here. Again, it's just the same thing with the dollar. I'm not going to really spend too much time until I start seeing a bit more clarity in there. The same with the pound. We noticed kind of the compression. This level was kind of fresh, price respected, keep respecting it here. It's moving lower. It may feel all the way through, it may go all the way up until here. Same thing that I'm still looking for, maybe price going towards this level. So on the other side, there's maybe more room to the upside in here on the pound, until eventually we actually get away from this range. Okay, this is pound dollar this year, and yeah, good luck. Yeah, maybe again on intraday, when you're looking at the 5 minutes time frame, and if you're trading the London Opens and maybe US Opens and stuff like that, maybe you do find opportunities in here, but they are so crap, to be honest. Yeah, I don't even like. Yeah, I'm not really interested in anything here. Yeah, pound dollar has been terrible, to be honest. I'm not, again, who knows why. It's in alignment with the dollar as well. Like, okay, dollar has been moving a little bit to the downside, but nothing much. And yeah, the pound is just this. I don't know if it is everyone waiting to see when eventually when the interest rate starts to pick up, then we may have a little bit more momentum in here. Yeah, it's just for me. I'm not interested at all in whatever it's going on here. Yeah, so moving along with this one, honestly, I'll be paying attention to this level. If price gets there, I'm paying attention to this level in here. What's going on? What's going on? Okay, got it. Yeah, somewhere in here, which turns into euro pound, and yeah, it becomes this mess as well. Okay, we noticed the break to the upside in here. Okay, so that kind of starts showing a little bit more of a bullish scenario after price respected the low. So kind of we've been tracking also euro pound for a while, but even the way price then is moving is just, yeah, it's not interesting to try to trade it. So again, nice moving here, kind of the situation kind of repeats. This low, I would like, I was looking for it to get a bit more to the downside, to be honest. It didn't. It kind of paused just at this demand zone, which is quite valid, to be honest. We had all this to fake out, so okay, it worked. And eventually it would be nice to see again breaking in here and creating some momentum, filling out of this compression, maybe a little bit of a level in there that price could maybe respect. But yeah, it would be nice to see. But based on what we have seen so far, even with such a compression, price doesn't really look like it's creating any momentum. It just goes up and down, up and down, up and down as well, which again, yeah, this for anyone, I don't even know what to say about this. Anyone that will be looking for a long or whatever, like the likelihood of being taken at break even or something like that, or the stomach that you needed to hold that trade, seeing 50 times coming back to your entry level, yeah, too much energy that it's not worth spending in there. Aussie yen, yep, Aussie yen was the actually dollar related pair that is a bit more bearish. At least in the beginning of the week we had CPI, which was I think it was lower than expected, which was good, to be honest. And we had that move down, like, which also helped the the Aussie yen to move much lower than maybe the other yen pairs. In here, it kind of missed that extreme. It just reacted a little bit more from the buys. Again, the pattern repeated the same. Okay, so it's a good example also of exactly looking for double tops and stuff and breaking lows just underneath a good supply level. Just kind of the way we described it, and then price reacted from the level, and yeah, so it worked out quite nicely, and then kind of keep respecting this level in there. Personally, this was again not really the biggest fan. Maybe could see price going even slightly lower in there. Who knows? Let's see how price may react from here. And I still have maybe that level, maybe somewhere in here that maybe price could react from. Yeah, aside from that, price basically we've almost filled the range in here. Yeah, so that was Aussie yen, which still shows a little bit more of a range in there. What was good during this move to downside on the yen dollar was that you finally had euro yen moving away, not euro yen, euro Aussie moving away from this range, which spent basically a month or so in there, and it's getting closer to these extremes. Again, that's basically the levels that I am going to be looking for. It's more towards those levels. Before that, again, I'm not going to be spending much of my energy looking for anything else. So yeah, let it get to those levels before looking for something else. And also pound Aussie, which made the move to the upside and is respecting the supply at this point. I mentioned that I would have liked to see this low actually breaking this one, which never happened. If that had happened, I would have turned much more bearish on the pound Aussie, because I did mention that maybe from here could be an interesting level to look for a short. But yeah, bigger picture, I would have liked to see this one being taken before making that move. Since it was respected, I was a bit more concerned on looking for a short in here, and since it's just kind of an alternative asset, I want to actually get my triggers correctly before taking the trade, even though it kind of starts. Again, the reaction was quite nice from the supply. It worked. Yeah, it's been working so far. Even this one, it would have been better if it actually have taken a little bit and then retrace and then moved on. Kind of a bit similar to what maybe Aussie actually did in there. Yeah, let's see. Maybe from here it breaks below it and then it's free to go. We don't have this structure in here, so yeah, attention to this level here can maybe hold price a little bit to the upside so far, but it's creating lower lows, kind of good retest to this level. Yeah, so that's another one that we're looking for. Again, this is an example of a pound asset, like pair. Like I would much rather maybe trying to look for this kind of opportunities within this pound Aussie. Just even these last 2 weeks at least made a move of, again, 300 pips to the one side to the other, instead of just getting stuck within a full range on the pound dollar in here. Like that's kind of where we are in here. And then the Aussie yen, right? And this is the one that we've been talking about for a while, right? Again, it's another one that is kind of just as a minor asset, just to keep an eye on until eventually it gets to the level that is interesting, at least to me, or eventually you're going to have your own levels. And the levels was to look for price to fake out this structure. Okay, it took a lot of time to make this compression all the way. Okay, basically beginning of February all the way until there. That's finally turned on the 20. Before that, we had already kind of a lot of ranging market, but we mentioned that we wanted to look for price to take those highs, and that's basically the only time that we started to focus on the Aussie yen. It was exactly when price went there. What else did we look for, right? So on the weekly time frame, and can maybe start deleting some of these lines. On the weekly time frame, we had this level, which is basically kind of where the next structure is, and we also had this demand zone in here that price ignored, just broke it, and that becomes actually a really good level for price to react from and move to downside on the way back. Okay, since price never respected as it should, so it becomes kind of a nice little level. At the same time, on the lower time frame, if you haven't seen it, it actually has this little nice supply level in there, and this high never reacted from it, and that was the level that we were looking for in alignment with that demand zone in there. Okay, and then kind of the next level maybe starts to be closer to this level. So there were two levels in here after taking the highs that you're looking for. This is one of them, and then maybe starts becoming in here, or then price can even go higher, and that's exactly where price reacted from. Okay, so we had the structure, we have the initial kind of fake out, price goes down, respects this level, it keeps respecting until eventually starts finally breaking in here. We have our first attempt, that still takes its demand zone, and then we have the turn. As you can see, it was actually the biggest move to downside of the yen pairs, also because of the weakness on the Aussie. It's a really good example. It may take a few weeks, a few months to develop for price to get to the key level, but then you can have a really good high probability setup with the right confirmations and to look for a potential trade. And that's kind of the way it play out in here. And now we'll see what's going to happen from here. I was actually looking for price to get closer to this level before the turn. Price just reach a pause in there. But yeah, we'll see now within this range. And yeah, there's maybe still more opportunities to sell it in there, or if price then just keeps moving lower, then maybe can have some kind of continuation more to the upside. So yeah, it's a good example. You can have kind of this asset just in your radar, and eventually when it gets there, which can happen maybe once a month, it then provides a good opportunity. You're going to see weakness from price. You're going to see that price maybe has been moving just in one direction for many days in a row, which starts to increase the probability of a retracement. And then it's about kind of starting to find your triggers to look for the trade in there. So that's Aussie yen. Now dollar yen, and that's the one that we are looking for. So we have been looking for dollar yen to get a bit more closer, a bit more towards these levels. Again, we have the double top, which is going to be always interesting to see if price does want to fake out or not. But before that, I think there's maybe something else underneath that price can still hold. In particular, this level in here, I really like it. If it was not in alignment with, if everything that we had around these highs, it was just this and not the other high, I would literally be really confident on maybe looking for a short in here. Again, just that double top from the left, that makes it a bit of a concern, but exactly what you wanted to look in here, right? So we start having this pattern, right? This is something that you start anticipating or kind of looking for. Like we have the first break below this structure. It's okay, price actually reacted nicely from still this level, It's not that price properly broke this this structure. I'll be a bit more bearish if price actually had broken this level in here. It didn't, but it starts to break below this low. So we can actually maybe have this initial range in here where we have a few double tops, triple tops, whatever, many highs in alignment, and we have the break. So yeah, of course I would love to see that move happening, or even kind of a bit more explosive to the upside, and then maybe the turn, which this one could start opening the door for price to go lower eventually. So again, price is still respecting the supply. We still have this demand zone. We'll see what's going to happen in here. At this point, personally, not really going to be involved in between this level. I want to actually see price going to the other side in here. Yeah, there can be maybe some supply levels in there. Totally okay with it. Yeah, but that's what I would like to see. Which a move in here to the upside may take maybe the yen index to move a bit more to the downside before maybe turning, or a move to the upside will also take the dollar a bit more to the upside. Again, who knows what's going to happen here. Which levels are you looking for, Faden? I think you talked about 151 something several times. Price kind of reacted from there. But this one actually already goofed there. Yeah, this supply level looks really interesting, to be honest. So this is the extreme of the extreme of the extreme in here. Yeah, not really sure. $151.27. To 7. Yeah, somewhere in there. What's this one? 151.27. Yeah. Then 65. Yeah, then it's taking. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, kind of the same thing in here. Unless there's something in here. I don't know if I can go to 1 minute in here. Oh, I can. Perfect, brilliant. Because all of this looks like it's been compressed already. There's always the risk of maybe price reacting from something in here. Even though actually this one is already kind of a break to the upside. I don't remember like what happened in here. Like I think in the moment back in the day in November, I think we actually analyzed this on the tick chart. Actually see where this dollar yen reacted from. I don't have that data now. Yeah, I think we analyzed this drop on the tick chart to see where the levels were. Yeah, I have no clue. I have no clue now. You mentioned 148 first. Yeah. Yeah, let's see what this guy is going to do, especially if you break below this level, I even become more bearish, to be honest. So yeah. But dropping like this with so many highs in alignment, is that something typical of dollar yen? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they like to create their manipulations as well. Like I think it would be a waste if they just keep respecting all these highs without fake out. Yeah, again, we're going to be monitoring this one for sure. So euro yen, there you go. Like, so euro yen, it was the one that we talked about as well. So we started to create that high. we created these lows, one low, another low, and we finally broke below that level, right? So that was the first trigger to start looking to the downside, kind of the pattern that we're looking for. And where is it creating, right? So it's around this level. It's really close to the highs. It's perfect, and start to create just underneath that that extreme, and then we had this high in here to fake out. We did it by kind of 1 pip or even less than that. Personally, I even wanted a little bit higher, so in reality there was still kind of maybe 9 pips, 8 pips move that I wanted to see price going even a bit higher. But then, as you can see, you had the momentum, the break, and boom, we're back into the structure, right? And that's kind of what we want to look for. Like, it looks like it was a big move to the downside. This was with the news 10 days ago, something like that. And yep, we had the move, we have the break, and now we have the proper turn, which now becomes this level in alignment, the next level that you want to also look for a potential trade. As you can see, price again, it missed it by a little bit. It took this size, so we want to just look for this mid-range in here to be taken, and it is. But again, price kind of missed a little bit the level in there, maybe reacted from the base of this one. Yeah, sometimes you want to be too precise, and then you may miss the move. But it goes in alignment with this level, basically, as you can see on the retest of this level in here. And then the other one, the extreme, it will be somewhere in here, right? Which end price breaks it, you can fake out, and you could have maybe look for another short in here if you wanted to. Okay, and that was basically it, and price retested now this level, which was a natural first target as well. Can even lead to more bearishness as well. Kind of broke into this kind of strong compression even below this level as well in here. It's going to be an interesting one to follow next week, because this can still be the beginning of this big turn, and at this point in terms of this compression, maybe this low could be a good target somewhere in there. Okay, in here. Now, is this enough? This price just now wants to react from here. Again, there's maybe this level that is slightly fresh, even on this 1 hour time frame. Looks like it may be still fresh, or price just wants to whatever respect something and move lower in here. Which again, so levels look for yeah, maybe still something in there, the one in there on top, and yeah, not really much. This one maybe the goof down, confirmation of breaking of the structure, and price actually may want to go somewhere in there. So again, this is look at euro dollar and look maybe at this pattern on the euro yen. I would have much preferred to actually be involved on this euro yen than euro dollar, for example, this week. Like bigger moves, more. We have a trend, we have kind of a little bit of a reversal, we have a bit of a ranging just for price to go from kind of bullish to bearish. Much clearer than comparing with the noise that we have on the euro dollar at this point, and it's closer to the extreme as well. So yeah, the probability kind of to look for this setup is much higher in here. Pound yen, same story. Okay, so we start having lows being broken. Again, this is something that we start tracking, a lot of compression, a lot of lows being broken. In here, we are getting really close also to this bigger supply level in here at these highs. There's maybe more room to the upside, no doubt about it, but you're getting really close to an interesting level in here. So maybe some sell pressure is going to start to appear. And we had this big compression, we have maybe a good target in alignment to this previous structure in here, and we start having those bearish moves. Okay, we have a low being broken, we have maybe another low being broken, then we have kind of that turn happening as well, and there you go. Kind of an alignment in here, and price didn't really react with the extreme, just fake out this level, and meanwhile just moving lower. Now it's kind of reacting from the base of this move in here. So yeah, there's maybe still something in there to look for. A bit tricky this low, not really sure if this is an important low or not, to be honest. Kind of retesting a bit of the structure, but yeah, not the biggest fan of that level, but we'll see. Right, again, it's a different one. More moves in here, and tracking the yen index is going to be something important also to look for, what to expect in here on the pound yen. But it may continue to make a little bit more of a move to the downside, or if it wants to still go slightly higher. I'm not sure if you have already reached the final destination here. We may want to go slightly higher. So always bear in mind that aspect in the bigger picture of what to expect in there. But yeah, this is a nice one as well. The CAD pairs. Okay, so the CAD pairs, we noticed that this level never broke the low, so it's starting to look maybe a bit more to the upside, and we are still within this range. Okay, price actually reacted now from the extreme of the extreme, which is a good valid high. I'm not going to deny it. It is a still valid situation. Initially price respected the supply, and now it's reacting from that one, and again after that there's nothing else. Okay, after that price is free to just go and break to the upside. This is where Fino yesterday made a killing, kind of catching every single move on the card, and good target, closing at the lows. Above this high, if prices want to go higher, there's maybe something in here, and then kind of looking a bit more to the upside in here. Okay, it's kind of a little bit maybe where I'll be looking in this particular case. The PI on the lower time frame, it was interesting. Price reacted from this support resistance, kind of, or maybe not even yet. So I would like actually maybe to look for price to maybe even moving lower from here. Kind of we enter into this compression zone. To be honest, we just fake out this level one more time. This is kind of a good level. Yeah, your trade was amazing. In there, and yeah, we'll see from here. We may go a little bit more to the downside. I don't really see kind of the engulf down in here, so again, bigger picture, and let's kind of zoom out a little bit. This level is still valid. Yeah, is this the high? Is this can this be the high? Right, then what's your take? And Sarav as well. I think you trade CAD as well. Like what you are looking for. If we do break below this level, I think we can maybe continue to go lower. If you break into this compression, I would be looking for eventual price to fill this range. That would be quite reasonable, to be honest. Can maybe delete this one. Yeah, this one sounds like an engulf down, to be honest. Now the level on the higher time frame is still the kind of a daily, a weekly level, even maybe monthly. So that still remains the same. It hasn't really changed, even though we fake out this high, it still remains a valid level. Three, 4, 6. To test this zone again. Yeah, I would like to see if it comes back here. I would like to see it being broken to the downside, and we'll see afterwards. Three, 4, 3. Oh, this small zone in here below those highs, below the lows. You mean here? Yeah, again, if price does come back all the way here, I would like to see it just breaking it and start opening door to go much further down. We do have this demand zone. I don't think it's going to hold price. I think then it may hold a little bit, but I think then you can go all the way. All the way to the downside. So yeah, maybe breaking below this low one more time, kind of just moving away from here, in particular this range, then we can maybe move over from here. And even if we break above this level, something that we also still don't really have on dollar CAD, as I mentioned in one of the other assets, we haven't really had a proper retracement, right? Kind of a break below something and kind of a retest. I still see this level as fresh in here, so I'll still keep that in mind, that by any chance, especially if prices breaks above something, if you do have a deep retracement, this zone in here can still be a great level to look for a long in here, but I would like to see a break to the upside first before looking for that then massive long in here. So that's still kind of in mind in there. For now, yeah, let's see how price may react from here. $3,579. Where are you? In here? Yeah, maybe. Price already retraced, like we had the news and price retraced to it, okay. Price already retraced, just already made that retracement to the supply there. Yeah, or we can just range a little bit, create lows and kind of create something in here, and then eventually maybe go either respect this level or that level that you mentioned and go with it. In here. Yeah, so yeah, we'll see. And then EuroCAD was a great one, like, and this is another example of an asset that it just stays on my radar. I don't really pay much attention to it on a day-to-day basis, but when it gets to a good level, that's the moment that you want to look for. I can actually, this is actually quite interesting what I've seen on the EuroCAD. Like on the server, I've most likely made like 5 posts about this asset since December, and one of them was to predict the short from here. Okay, that was kind of middle of December, and it happened, and then it reached a target straight away quite quickly, and then I ignored completely everything that happened after that until price started to break the lows. So this lasted for almost 1 month and a half. Then price finally starts moving lower. It finally broke below this level, which was kind of still the expectation because we had managed to break below the structure, so we actually kind of more of a bearish. That's actually why I was looking for the short in the first place from that level. It was because of this break, and we broke into this compression zone. And then finally on the 9th of February, I mentioned that this looks like can be the low in place in here, where price reacted from this level. In here, broke it, kind of, it reacted from there, it broke some highs in here, it really good compression to the downside. Yeah, that looked like the low. Again, maybe could go somewhere maybe a bit lower, something like that, but this looked like a good level to start looking for longs in this case, okay. Again, so from basically the 13th of December, and that happened all the way to the 9th of February. That's kind of when I made a post, and then I made a post also this week. Yeah, basically, when was it? Wednesday, something like that. That finally, after seeing EuroCAD making all this move, is getting at this level. So wait for it maybe to be broken. Open the door maybe to go to the upside eventually, but it can be a really good level to for retracement. Also, EuroCAD was being bullish for 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row. Before that, kind of, it was still kind of just a retracement. It was a great opportunity to look for those for a retracement. And there you go, the move happened. Like, so basically, between the 2 months of data, almost 3 months of data, it's just trying to see where are those high probability levels to look for, and try to ignore as much as possible all the noise. All the ranging noises that you may get a lot of challenges in here. Even if you come up profitable out of this level, you spend a lot of energy trying to trade these ranges in here. So yeah, it was a nice move to the downside in here, and we'll see if there's a little bit more of a continuation to the downside. For example, I would love to see maybe reacting now from this level and resuming the move upwards. This for me is an engulf upwards. I'll expect EURUSD eventually to go slightly higher, even maybe to go to this extreme or eventually higher. But now this is a good retracement after all this move upwards. Is it going to go from here? It's kind of a okay demand, and then we may have that level as well to look for. At the highs, maybe you can still have this level in here. It's a good compression so far, so we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. And what did you have even before that? Like again, that structure, look at that. We have the break to the downside. We have a break of a kind of a few lows in here, even before that price starts to make that attempt. It's also always nice to have that kind of PA even before maybe taking a high as well. So yeah, it's a nice one. EURUSD, it went into my radar, and kind of I'm going to keep following a little bit to see how price may react from here, and maybe from here could go for the continuation until then price may feel this compression, and when it gets closer to here, there's maybe a little bit more of a retracement to be expected. Otherwise price may just go all the way there, and then that's a different story that we can try to track again in there. Pound CAD, kind of same story in here, kind of we predicted that one, and I'm curious to see how price may react from here, and maybe to take the double top now from this level, and we'll see if it reacts from here or it wants to go even a bit more to the upside. But I would like for price to take this double top from here, to be honest, in here. So that's something to keep an eye on. And then our franc Swiss, same story in here, and this actually kind of can be an interesting one to track, which may be on the creation of that pattern as well, where you have maybe a little bit of that break. Now we have the fake out of the highs, even though I would still like to see it. Now it reacted literally from the extreme, right? This side didn't really react from it, but now this one did in there. But I would still like to see this high actually being broken to provide kind of that bullish engulf, and then you could have that deep retracement, and we'll see after that, right? But yeah, so let's see now from here. It's a nice little move in there. Let's see how price may react from this level. This one in here may start to show some weakness, the break in here. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to follow as well. Dollar franc Swiss. Yeah, let's see how price may react from here, to be honest. Gold, what a move, right? From one side to the other. There you go. Right? Low, high, respect, back at it, and most likely is going to break this high in here. Right? So you're looking for that as well, kind of a bit more bullish. There's maybe something in here. Then I didn't really like this high, was already taken, and it would be kind of looking for maybe price getting to the extreme. At this point, it's such a good bullish momentum that yeah, who knows what's going to happen on gold at this point, and until where it's going to go towards to. We don't really have this break to the downside, so maybe price will just eventually continue higher. Question mark what's going on within this this big spike in here, so who knows. Who knows, honestly, what's going to happen. Do you have any value in here, kind of any key level? Yeah, who knows. Yeah, price already reacted from that one, so this was a level that could have had some kind of impact in here. As you can see, price respected a little bit and then broke it, and then respected to the opposite side, right? So it respected in here a little bit, then it broke above it, and then respected again the level, right? So again, you can see that there were orders kind of around that level, but it was kind of just almost a flip zone in there. and instead of working as a short, it works straight away as a long, and price moved to the upside. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, I'll need a bit more structure now to before even considering looking for anything on gold. Yeah, good move. Maybe it's going to start creating a new cycle in here of kind of could retest this level and then go higher, or can retest something else important in here, and then kind of start going higher, breaking highs, and eventually create kind of a something like that until it challenges the highs one more time. Who knows? I'm going to be open to all possibilities, to be honest, in here. Oil finally broke the highs, right? And it's reacting now a little bit to the downside. This could have been also good level to look for a short. We do have a lot of liquidity around this level. Initially price broke slightly a little bit, but then kind of come back into the structure, and now we have that move. So this can be a little bit more of a bullish engulf, and yeah, maybe price can retest, can gain momentum, or is going to maybe have a little bit more of a deep retracement. This demand zone is still fresh at around 76, and yeah, this is kind of still fresh in here, but we do have this structure, we have this structure, and then we have this structure just as a continuation in here. So yeah, are you going to create some momentum, or price is going to come back into structure straight away? That's going to be interesting to see what's next on oil. Yeah, do you trade oil? I think you do, Faden. Rarely, yeah. Yeah, because this is the level above that, then we get into this bigger compression. Maybe something in here can also hold. And you have this one in here that's kind of a nice level as well. So this can actually be a really interesting level to expect at least some kind of reaction from it. Okay, somewhere in here. Above these highs in alignment with that one, which kind of where this level also started. Kind of have the breakaway from here, and then kind of this is where the new cycle starts, right? And this is kind of eventually what can happen. Like, you're looking a little bit for the separation, for the gap to be created, and then price can start a new cycle just similar to this. Okay, and kind of a new momentum starts in here, and eventually this low is going to end up being the target, which again, who knows where that low is going to be, but that's going to be the target as well eventually for the shorts. Okay, when price finally turns, that's one of the first targets that you're going to be aiming for. Actually, the first target to be kind of obviously structure, but then kind of the next one is going to be maybe somewhere in there. Yeah, that's a little bit of what we may look for, or we have a deep retracement. Yeah, gold is going to be a tricky one. I think we need to. Maybe no one was really expecting such a big move in alignment with the indices as well. Again, it's just interesting that we see gold and the indices moving. It's such a big momentum, and on the other side we have the dollar, which is just ranging still. Right? Again, is that? Yeah, it's basically the dynamic that we have at this point in the market. Yeah, dollar is always that asset that personally I have to look at it. It gives me so much confluence and information, but at this point, it's not really providing me with any of that. So yeah, we'll see. Whenever dollar wants to wake up, start giving a bit more clues. Yeah, so that's oil basically. We broke above it, may have this level, and it may go higher afterwards. What about crypto? What about these guys, right? Are you going to go for the all-time highs already this week, this month? This one is still lagging comparing Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin is literally already in there. These ones are lagging. In here, again, can have a little bit of reactions at around, I don't know, some structures in there. This can be an interesting one, to be honest, whenever price gets there. But yeah, who knows? The top was actually literally close to 3 trillion. Okay, interesting. So yeah, eventually continuation to the upside. From here, it created that fake out in here, kind of a good pattern, but it respected straight away the demand zone. Yeah, it's ranging a little bit again, so we'll see. Bitcoin, sorry, it respected now the supply. Yes, it was fresh in there. We had a little bit of the pattern as well in here, even with the break of this level, nice cam zone. So the extreme is reacted from, and now the base, basically that's where price is reacting. Bitcoin opposite to Ethereum, for example, it kept respecting this high, right? Ethereum actually ended up picking out the high, and then we had the reversal. Bitcoin respected it, and then started to create PA, and it moved down. Again, the target has been reached, was this demand zone. That's there. It's reacting from one of the last levels, to be honest, that is still in here for price to react from. We also have kind of the left shoulder in there. If it was any other asset, and if you knew where price was reacting even more on the left side, this could be definitely a great short opportunity. I would definitely have to look for shorts at around these levels. Yeah, but it's Bitcoin, and it's a unique type of asset. With the momentum, it might just go all the way through and break all-time highs, to be honest. Eventually. So price is reacting from this structure. That's kind of where we were looking for. There's a gap which we in there, so that happened. Yeah, so there's maybe a little bit more, and then there's which is the extreme of the extreme. It's already all-time highs basically. I'm not seeing Bitcoin pausing nowhere near this level. Yeah, no chance. So yeah, let's see how price may react a little bit from here until may create momentum. Like maybe to scare someone, kind of to scare some of the traders. If you start showing a bit of bearishness in here, yeah, maybe it will scare some of them. It will force them maybe to maybe to close whatever longs they have open, and then eventually to break through. Like just to play a little bit the emotions of the traders, especially to break a proper low to the downside. That may scare a few to get out with fear of price coming, maybe going back to 50k or something like that, kind of coming back to this range. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. And then Ethereum actually started to break the lows in here, and it's reacting from a really good supply level in there. Okay, so it's a really good level, to be honest. But it's still kind of compressing a little bit. It's challenging the structure in here. After that, we respected perfectly the demand zone, so we'll see. It could go lower a little bit and go higher after that, or it can just carry on, take the high, and getting a little bit more, maybe closer to one of these levels in here. Yeah. Yeah, so that's basically Ethereum. Solana also broke the highs, and where is it reacting now? It's reacting also from the supply, which then we have the next one. So again, starts getting really close to all-time highs. We mentioned this level. Again, it reacted nicely from that low. We're looking for initial short, price respected perfectly, respected the demand as well. So yeah, the initial short from the highs in here, with respect to next structure, meanwhile it's moving higher. And there you go. That's kind of what we have at this point. So we can eventually take this high, getting closer to the next level, which will take us to 167 or so in there. Yeah, who knows? Who knows at this point? Yeah, that's basically it, guys. Any last thing? Any last level that you're looking for? Indices. The Dow looks nice, so I'm going to pay attention to the Dow first and foremost in terms of the indices. NASDAQ, it would be nice if NASDAQ and S&P would start to show some kind of bearish move, a kind of potential turn when the Dow gets closer to that high, because maybe then could go in alignment with the shorts in all indices. $85. How do you get there, man? Is there any kind of harmonic move like ABC? That's kind of how you got to the Fibonacci expansion. How did you get to that level? Is it kind of just the same leg of the kind of same? Just messing. You know those what's the thing? Like when you have a proper 1 second. When you have kind of a move like this, then like this, and then they measure kind of the same distance of this, and okay, that's kind of where it goes. and you even draw kind of a Fibonacci in the mix just because, and you are looking for maybe the opposite. You are looking for the expansion. How did you do that? Yeah, there you go. Look, I even have expansions in here. Yeah, go to the 160, 180, 1.618, exactly that other golden number, whatever it may be. Yeah, that's a target. If you actually do that for the 1 second, just remove all this. If you do that, let's just look at the bigger picture. I don't even know from where to draw it, but let's pretend that this is from here, from this wall. What's the level? It's 100, man. It goes to 100 straight away. Jesus. What about if we draw from here? This wall. Another leg up. And there you go. Another confluence in here. Basically the same level. Is it possible? So let's just draw this one here. Yeah, 127. Yeah, there you go, 127. You're 85, close to 85. Yeah, you're correct. Wait a second, because it's missing the next step. This is one of the first ways that I used to trade, man, back like 10 years ago. Cipher patterns and bots and stuff like that. So we have this one, and now we drag it all the way there. Woo, Jesus. Okay, forget about it. That goes to 256. Maybe if I change the logarithm. Oh my god, it's even worse. Oh my god, that never gets there. Forget about it. Yeah, that's it. That's going to take a screenshot and do my prediction on Bitcoin. I'll see you back when we are at 155, and and 300, 250. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I still remember, like, I was with a friend trading those harmonic patterns. Even ever since here, ABC, exactly ABC. Yeah, the BAT is something like this, like it's the 68 and then the 80% retracement. Or the BAT was, what was the BAT? It was kind of a really big expansion, like tau, boom, it would go there, whatever, something like this, like it was crazy. And now just blindly, literally kind of buy or sell at whatever the deal, right? Because this is a completion of the pattern and you are looking for price to then move in this direction or something like that, kind of. Butterfly, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, man, I started to, like, there was sometimes, like, the level that I was looking to enter, it was literally in the middle of nowhere, like, absolutely nothing in the middle, and I would just literally see price, I would get filled, I'll just see price literally going against me without any kind of retracement whatsoever. Price will just slowly move. Like imagine that you have a structure somewhere in here, maybe some structure somewhere in there, and it's telling me to enter in here, right? There's nothing in here to stop price, absolutely zero. It's like, it's just a bullish candle in here. Yeah, let's buy in here now. And I'll just see price go against me and go, and eventually, of course, stopped out. Like, no trigger, no nothing. Oh my god. So funny. Oh god. Do this. Yeah, there you go. Bitcoin to the moon. Ah, it was crazy. To be honest, if you're about to use those patterns, but with some extra confluence, maybe it works. Maybe actually I could see good opportunity in there. But blindly, and then all of a sudden there was one on top of the other, another one, like it was giving me 3 sell signals and 2 buy signals at the same time. It was, whoo, okay. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah, and then it started a new journey of reading price action, and yeah, that was a few years just to even master it. Oh well. All right, guys. Yeah, it's all done basically. All done for today. Thank you, Pedro. It was great, man. Great to see you back. March is going to be a great month. I'm looking forward for March, to be honest. I'm going to finally start using my journaling, which I'm going to be revising. Let's actually bring that one up. I'm going to actually start revising this one somewhere this month, which is mostly focused. I'm going to do a session about this, to be honest. Yeah, on Ocean. This is just a trading journal with plenty of details to look for. Yeah, the focus is mostly on this part. These are just random trades to test it, but the focus is actually on the trading process to identify what aspects of your trading you are making. Where are your weak points on your trading? I kind of separate a trade in 7 moments between analysis, the approach, execution, stop loss target, trend management, and also kind of the mindset. And the main idea is for you guys to be measuring it between a 1 is a positive, a -1 is a negative, and eventually you are going to come up with, after several trades, maybe 20 trades, 30 trades, whatever it may be, by the end of the month, you are going to be able to identify which aspect of those 7 different aspects, which category is your weak point. And that's the one that you want to work on. Okay, you have a justification as well, what the mistake is, and then you're going to be able to track it. At the same time, you even have the P&L next to it to see exactly what that mistake is actually costing you in terms of P&L or risk reward, whatever measure you want to use, which can be another help for you guys to actually take measures. So this is for someone that is already aware of the strategy that they're trading. They know exactly what they're doing, at least minimum of 6 months, but even most likely it's for more than 1 year involved in trading. And the word that you're trying to solve is consistency. Okay, you have your journal, you have everything on a daily basis, weekly basis, and so on. You can track your trades. Yeah, there's no trades in here. When did I measure the trades in here? Did I do it or did it? Yeah, I have some trades in here, whatever. Just examples of setups in here. Yeah, so I'll be doing a session about this. If anyone is interested in working on their consistency, I think this is a great tool. Okay, you have your data, daily, weekly, monthly, quarter. That's kind of how I separate it. You have your own daily report card within it. It's a weekly, it's a daily. Again, you can filter by date and everything else in between. Now, last month. Yeah, right. You have a lot of data to track. And by knowing that part of your trading process, what's going to help is going to give you this one, like the 73.1%. This gives you your process efficiency, like measuring all the 7 aspects. Eventually, you're going to come up with one. Oh, what have I done? With one that's going to tell you what's your efficiency, and not just that, also your outcome efficacy as well in there. And then you have in here, this is where you're going to be opening or adding your own trades when you do take them. In here, you even have a trading view chart in here if you want to do whatever. Yeah, so I think it's a great tool. Right. Thank you. What is LFG? What does it mean? All right. Fair enough. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you. Obrigado.